What we need are more people remembering their magnificence. And when you're willing to let go of the fear of death and recognize that I am immortal, that I am eternal, I don't die to become immortal or eternal, I am that now. And that this is just part of the journey. We need more people to realize we don't need more food on this planet, more water on this planet, more energy or more gas or oil. What we need is less greed, less exploitation, less ignorance, more understanding, more love, more caring, more compassion, more reaching out, more understanding of our brothers and sisters that are around this planet that come from that same life force. And when the awareness comes, boom, it becomes the place where the Christ is known. Imagine those priests, the ecclesiastical class that just put Jesus to death on the cross. They're sitting there thinking, oh my, didn't we do good? Yeah, all right. We took care of it. And then, the clouds start getting dark and the thunder and the ground splits and all that drama. And they start looking at each other. Well, he didn't put up any resistance. Matter of fact, he didn't even say anything about this whole thing. He actually carried his own cross. It's like a lamb being led to the slaughter. It kind of exemplifies that guy in Isaiah he was talking about. And all of a sudden, that awareness comes into their field, and boom, there's a feeling, there's a sense. And so, have you ever been reading a book, so engrossed, like Callie, she's reading a book, I'll come in and say, hey, hon, say something. She doesn't hear me. It's like, it's not that she's ignoring me. It's like her awareness wasn't there. Once I get her attention, it's like, boom, there she is. It's not as if she didn't have ears. And Trevor's great at this. It's not that he's ignoring me. He just is totally engaged in what it is that he's doing. That is where his awareness is. And so I say, hey, Trev, or I try to spook him, and he doesn't even jump because he's not aware of what is going on. I'm going with this analogy. I'm trying to get better than I did at sunrise. But, we're talking about putting the flashlight that is out there, and you see the flashlight go off into the sky. You can't really see it. It just, dissipates. It's gone. But if a bird comes flying through the light, or a bat, or hits a tree, boom, becomes aware of what is there. You see it. That awareness all of a sudden just touches that. The light from the sun is just an emanation that is moving through the black void of outer space. You can't see it until it touches like the moon, which is gorgeous this morning. Did you see that? Or it hits a planet, and then you see it. But otherwise, it is there. And it's almost as if there is a consciousness that is flowing through this thing called life that is just moving, and it's unknown, unexperienced until it touches an object of awareness, and that is what we get to do. We are the ones who get to choose to be aware, and what is happening is this infinite expression begins to, boom, touch that planet, touches your field of concern, your healing chant. And all of a sudden, it moves into that place. Otherwise, there is this force, there is this light, there is this energy, there is this spirit that the Christ returned to that is moving through it all, and it is our awareness that brings it into focus. It's not that I wasn't in the room and Callie didn't hear me. It's not as if the things were flying in the sky. It was just until the light touches something, it is not seen, and it is our awareness. If we choose to notice the pain in our back, that's what we're aware of, and that's where our consciousness is. If we're aware that we're struggling in a rough economy, that is where the consciousness goes, and that is where the creation happens. If we are aware that I am a loving expression of the divine, that is where this consciousness goes. If I am aware of the pain in my knee, then I am my body, and what happens is I think I am the body. I think that I am this form, when the truth is I am that light. I am the consciousness, but I am now identifying with that which I have become aware of. Did it make more sense this time? Better? Okay. A little bit. And so, we recognize that what we're about here is to bring about love. And if I of a sudden begin to recognize that this undifferentiated light, this essence, needs to become aware, and if you choose to be that place where there's love and that divine vibration, that place of kindness and compassion, and it moves there, you're needed for it to have that bounce back. You're needed for it to be expressed. What would happen if this was actually the big game? This planet, this earth was what people were lining up for, and so they could experience what they couldn't experience when they were not separated from the one. When that one is infinite potential, it needs to separate so it can experience the love. Jesus walked this planet saying, no matter what, love your neighbor. No matter what, resolve the conflict. No matter what, love, 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 love. And when you can be that place of love and let go of the fear, then all of a sudden you realize my mission here is to remind people that you're great inside. The truth of who you are is magnificent. And now is the moment. Now is the appointed time. Now you are in paradise. Not someday you're in paradise. Now you are in paradise. And what I get to do, no matter what is going on in this moment, is open up to the possibility of love. No matter what it looks like. One of my favorite stories I've shared with you guys before is about this great man who married the woman of his dreams, and their love created a beautiful little girl who just loved to, who was cheerful, loved to sing and smile and dance and laugh, and the great man would hold her in the arms and dance and say, I love you, little girl. I love you, little girl. And as the little girl grew, the great man would say, I love you, little girl. The little girl would say, I'm not a little girl anymore. And he would laugh and say, but you'll always be my little girl. Well, when this little girl, who was not so little anymore, left home and then began to learn more about herself, she discovered also how great the man was in his ability to share and to express that love. He would call her no matter where she was in this world or in her life from time to time, just say, I love you, little girl. One day she got the call. It was someone who said that this great man, his body had been damaged. He had had a stroke. And that he's lying in the hospital. He can't move any of his limbs. He can't speak. We don't even know if he can understand. Definitely, he can't speak the words you want to hear, can't sing, can't dance. And so she went, and when she walked into the hospital room, she saw not the strong body, but a weak, small body. And she could see his lips just trying to say something. She did all that she knew what she could do. She crawled into bed with him and looked at him, and her eyes filled with tears and his eyes filled with tears. And she put her arms around his useless shoulders and just held her father in her arms. And he put her head on his chest and just rested. And she remembered. She remembered the love. She remembered the good times. She remembered him holding him in the arms and dancing and saying, I love you, little girl. She remembered how he protected her, how he cherished her, how he just looked at her. And she heard his heart beat. And that's when the magic happened. For it was in the heart. This is where the words came from, where the music came from. And she laid there. She heard his heart beat. I love you. I love you. I love you, little girl, little girl, little girl. I want us to understand that no matter where we are, there's no need to wish we were somewhere else. For those that have been there and back, said all that matters is now. It's perfect. And if you can hear life and the universe and all that is around you saying, I love you. I love you. I love you. Today, you'll be in paradise. God bless you. Again, with a lot of heart and soul and passion. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Hey, I trust you enjoyed that podcast. It was very exciting to be able to create that and to know that there are people like you all around the world that are observing and integrating these spiritual principles into their life. And so if you enjoyed it, what I'd like to do is encourage you to tell a friend or bring several friends together and watch another one of these podcasts. And then afterwards, take some time to talk
about the spiritual principles, to talk about the stories and what significance they have and relevance they have in your life. What then happens is it moves to a deeper and deeper level in your world. It becomes real and assists you to create the freedom in your life that your heart and soul so desire. So if you like this, I encourage you to watch it again, but also tune into our website here at seasidecenter.org. There, you can get some of my written material and take a look at it. You can read some of my spiritual prayers. You can even go to our online bookstore and order some of the books. And if you're so moved, what I greatly would appreciate is your financial support, which you could do online at seasidecenter.org. It is support like yours that assists us to be able to continue to do these kinds of gifts for humanity and send it out to the world. Because you know what? We are making a difference with this spiritual message. And because of support like yours, people are being touched in the farthest reaches of this planet, as well as our backyard, more than we could ever begin to realize. So I thank you from the fullness of my heart for making a difference.